Daniel, good to see you again.
Indeed, always good to see you too.
And we've just had a very interesting hustings here at the Hester Adrian Centre with the Papworth Trust. What was it all about?
Well, Papworth Trust does fantastic work working with people with disabilities, and I think the key questions that were coming from the audience were, what's life going to be like for us under a future government? And I think it's been tough, frankly. I think that the benefit system has been cruel. I think the bedroom tax has been cruel. And what I was pleased to be able to tell them was that virtually on day one of a Labour government, we'll be abolishing the bedroom tax, but we'll be doing more than that. We'll be giving disabled people a key voice in policy making. One of the questions that came up was, why don't the rail companies do more to help people? Well, we'll make sure in future that's part of the franchising process. Those are the kind of things you can actually do to make a difference. And I'm proud of Labour's record on helping people, and I think when we're back in government, we'll be able to do more. Trade unions are the biggest voluntary organisation in the country. It's people banding together at work, partly to protect their interests, but also to protect their services. So Unison we have about 1.4 million members. People pay their subs. Many of those members are women, about 1 million plus. And I'm really proud to work for a trade union because that's where the minimum wage came from originally. It's one of Unison's predecessor unions. And we have disabled members groups within the union who fight really hard on issues like this. So I feel that I'm probably much better informed than most politicians on this because of the strength and the voice the trade union gives. And I think one of the problems in our society is the balance has shifted too much. Employers have all the cards at the moment. That's why we've got 0 hours contracts, low pay, and trade unions actually need to be able to represent people even more effectively. I mean, large numbers of people who work, particularly in the care sector, are terribly poorly paid. It's one of those awful things, isn't it, that the people we love most, actually, often we're entrusting their care with people we pay least. These 15-minute visits, for instance, which have become a complete plague. I used to be a trustee of Crossroads for Carers in Cambridge, and actually we were one of the organisations that didn't do 15-minute visits, but the pressure all the time was to cut costs. And it means in a lot of cases, when people really care for their clients, they can't just dash in because it's sometimes the only person who'll be seen that day. So again, Labour's commitment, pay for our mansion tax on properties worth over £2 million, is to end those 15-minute visits. And that's what this election is really all about. It's about, do we use our wealth in a wealthy society to give more to the people at the top through tax cuts, which is what the services are promising, or do you put money into public services to help those people? And that's my passion. That's why I'm involved in this election. The two overwhelming things actually are the NHS, which people are spontaneously talking about. But interestingly, a lot of people are working in the NHS, very, very pressured. A lot of them are very cross about the fact that they were supposed to get a fairly meagre pay rise, awarded by an independent pay review body, and Jeremy Hunt and the Conservatives denied them, and that's bad for morale. Secondly, of course, they're finding they're very understaffed. Adam Brooks had a recruitment crisis, which feeds into the fact that Cambridge is so expensive to live in, which is the housing issue and the transport issue. But for people who are going to Adam Brooks, I'm hearing constant stories now about long waits and problems. That's not, I don't blame the staff for that at all, but this is a failure by the coalition to actually see what was happening and waste all that money on an unneeded reorganisation. So that's one. The other thing which is just rife now is low pay and 0 hours contracts. I've been stunned by a number of people on the doorstep who have been telling me really heart-rending stories about just how tough it is. So those are the two things. Put them together and we've got, I'd say, a real problem in this city now. A very divided city. And that's why I think a change of government is so important.